reject his revelation. They want to sit there and say, oh no, the Bible as a model of reality does not speak authoritatively. But they speak authoritatively on what basis? See, they don't follow their own principle. If they're going to deny and reject that God has revealed himself and the Bible represents a self-authenticating, authoritatively speaking model of reality, and they say that it is not, then they're claiming that they speak with authority. So how does human reason, independent of God, speak with authority? So if any of you unbelievers out there would like to explain how human beings can speak with authority on anything apart from dependence and derivation on the mind and the plan of God, I'd love to hear it. But most unbelievers are cowards. They only want to go after low-hanging fruit. I was just listening to another guy on another channel who's talking about evolution, and he mentioned the Miller-Urey experiment and how it showed how it produced DNA. It didn't produce DNA. What it produced was the clumping together of some amino acids. There's a world of difference between amino acids clumping together versus it producing DNA. This is a guy who claims he has a bachelor's degree in science, and he can't even get the Miller-Urey experiment correct. How do you say your name?
Makai.
Makai, do you accept God as your creator?
Yes, sir, I do. I'm a Christian, and I just want to say God bless you. And I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous to come up right now. I never really came up on the panel.
Why? Do you think I'm going to yell at you?
No, sir. No, sir. I just never really been up on the panel, sir.
There's no reason to be nervous whatsoever.
God bless you. God bless you. I just want to say God bless you. And thank you for everything you're doing right now.
We all stand before God as equals. Okay? So is there something you'd like to say or a question you have?
Yes, I do. My question is, I believe in God. I'm a Christian and stuff, but I don't believe he created us like we're from Adam and Eve. Because I feel like it's like when I think about it more, it's like we're all brothers and sisters technically. And
I don't know what you're...
What I'm getting at is that technically we're all brothers and sisters.
Hold on a second. Start all over. I wasn't paying attention to my screen.
Okay.
Yeah, to Fools for Christ. I already attempted to dialogue with Justin. He was abusive, he was vile, and he was obscene, and he was constantly interruptive. So there was no point in me staying. So he demonstrated he doesn't want to have an intelligent interaction because he only wants to pick on low-hanging fruit. Okay, Save Ye. Do you accept God as your creator?
Yes, I do. What I'm trying to get at is I don't accept that Adam and Eve are the first people on Earth.
On what basis or authority do you say that?
It's just a thought because when I think about it,
sir, right now, I think your brain is made out of green cheese. It's just a thought.
It's brainstorming.
Yeah, you know why you don't believe it? You know why you don't believe it? It's because you have succumbed to the worldwide deception of deep time and evolution. The Bible predicts this type of worldwide deception. Did you know that?
I did not know that, sir.
Okay. So first of all, the notion of deep time, that the earth and the universe is eons old, is a deception. Okay. People don't understand how the notion of deep time came to be accepted. First of all, the notion of deep time is inherent in ancient paganism. Now, in the 19th century, Charles Lyell was a geologist who hated the biblical account of creation and that the earth and the world or universe were around 6,000 years old. He actually wrote, and we have it in records, that he plotted to overturn the biblical account of creation, and that includes a young world, all right? Not by a frontal attack, but coming in through the back door, by claiming his interpretation of the world and topographical and geological features demonstrate deep time. But none of that is true, okay? He just insisted that it be interpreted as deep time. He didn't demonstrate scientifically that it's deep time, nor does radiometric isotope dating or other dating methodologies demonstrate deep time, okay? They assume deep time, and then they interpret those things to be consistent with deep time, right? So Charles Lyell drank the Kool-Aid of Charles Darwin drank the Kool-Aid and he abandoned his belief in the Bible, and he accepted the idea that deep time or eons of time was his creator. From that, he came up with the idea of natural selection acting upon evolutionary changes, right? And the rest is history. So this is why you don't have confidence. And do you believe the Bible is the Word of God?
Yes.
Okay, so the reason why you don't believe that is because you have been intimidated that science says the earth is old and that science says we evolved. Do you know that one of the world's greatest experts on evolution and microbiology, Dr. Eugene Koonin, who is an anti-creationist, says that evolution, self-replicating systems, is virtually impossible to happen in a single large old universe, but with a multiverse, it's guaranteed. They don't teach you that in school, do they?
No.
So why would one of the world's greatest experts on evolutionary theory and how it relates to very complex molecular biology, which that's his area of expertise, he wrote about it in The Logic of Chance. In that book, he doesn't say it once, he says it several times, that evolution or self-replicating systems occurring in a one-off universe, meaning very old and very large, mind you, right? He said it's virtually impossible to occur short or absent a multiverse. But you see, you were brainwashed in the school systems to believe all you need is enough time and you'll get at least one or more planets that get lucky where life starts and it evolves. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, I hear you on most of that, and also what I believe everything about Jesus and stuff. He has a plan for you.
Do you accept Jesus Christ as the second person of the Trinity?
Yes, I do.
Okay, in Matthew 19, when he was discussing the controversy over marriage and divorce, Jesus said emphatically to the religious leaders, do you not know that he, God, made them, Adam and Eve, in the beginning? Now, if Adam and Eve were not in the beginning as in a 6-day creation around 6,000 years ago, that would mean that Adam and Eve were brought into existence after eons and eons and eons of time after the universe has started. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, in 2 Peter chapter 3, he talks about the last days, meaning shortly before Christ will return. He says, scoffers and mockers will come and say, where is the promise of his coming? Meaning referring to the second coming of Christ. And they're basically rejecting Jesus' self-identity claims, which essentially is the Bible. It then goes on to say in 2 Peter chapter 3, it says that they denied the worldwide deluge or the flood. And they say, the world just continues as it has been ever since the time that the world started. Okay? Do you know that is an indirect reference to our modern mentality that creationism is not true, the worldwide flood did not happen, and we're just simply the product of eons and eons of time. Okay? So Peter writes what would happen in the future in a foreshadowing way, exemplifying today. Okay? Now, do you think that the fossil record strongly supports Darwinian gradualism?
I don't know. I don't.
No, the answer is it doesn't. You only find that out when you go to graduate school. Dr. Koonin, who I mentioned before in his tour de force technical book on evolution, has a whole section in there explaining how the fossil record is a complete embarrassment to the theory of evolution. Now, he doesn't disbelieve in evolution. He believes it happened. But he still is honest enough to recognize that the fossil record as a whole does not bear out the notion of gradualistic evolutionary change. See, you've been brainwashed. And you know what? It's not your fault unless you take the initiative to start studying material that gives counter arguments to that. Because if you only hear one side of a story, a half truth is no truth, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So who are you going to believe? All these smart scientists, right? It's not like we're talking about observation testing and repeatability with predictive success, because we're talking about the past. Evolution cannot be observed and repeated. Beck, Darwin was a liar. Darwin was actually an atheist. We have excellent reasons to believe he was an atheist. Him mouthing that he was an agnostic was just simply a cover story so that his theory of evolution would be rejected. Welcome, Ryan. Do you accept God as your creator?
All right. Hi. Sorry, I'm getting a repeat.
Yeah, your mic
from...
is. Yeah, get closer to your mic.
I'm sorry. Can I try to rejoin real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, Darwin was an atheist long before he tried to pretend that he was an agnostic. His claim to agnosticism later in life in his autobiography was he was not being truthful. We actually have evidence to indicate his atheism. Darwin early on was significantly influenced by atheists, materialists, and the positivists. Okay, welcome, Ryan.
Hi, can you hear me better now?
Yeah, let me put my headset in so I can hear you better. Give me a second.
I could also maybe take out my earbuds and just go straight in. We'll see what works.
Okay, start all over. Go ahead. Do you accept God as your creator?
What is God?
We're not playing that game. You want to play that game, I'll kick you off the stage. Do you accept that there is an eternal creator? I won't give you a second warning. Yeah, we're not playing.
Yeah, well, no, I really don't.
Goodbye,
no, I really don't
Ryan.
know.
Goodbye, Ryan. Goodbye.
Okay,
Ryan.
all right.
Goodbye.
We can do it.
Yeah, no. We're not playing this little game. We're not playing this little adolescent little game. Oh, what do you mean by God? You know damn well what I'm talking about, okay? People don't get ejected for disagreeing. People can come up here and right out of the gate, they start being evasive and deceptive. That's a no-go here. You have to be truthful, honest, and transparent. You can tell me I'm wrong. You can tell me the Bible's wrong. You can say there's no God all day long, and we'll debate and butt heads, and then we'll part company saying, let's do it again. But you come up on stage, anyone, you come up on stage and you start lying, you start being evasive and deceptive with me, you're done. All right, I'll give you a second chance, but you better not be evasive again.
All right. Here I will say no, because I think I understand what you mean. I will say no.
Good. So you're an atheist.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. Do you deny the existence of God?
Yes. What I think you mean by God, then yes, I deny that existence. Yes.
We're not talking about the God of pantheism. We're talking about the creator-creature distinction, that the ground of all being is a single causal first principle that is characteristically a mind. And from that mind, it created the world and sustains the world. Okay? It's not complicated.
Okay, no, I don't believe in that.
Okay. Do you deny that God exists?
Yes. If going off of your definition, yes, I do deny that.
Okay, so from here on out, you're not going to pull the subterfuge, not that I'm suggesting that you will, but you're not going to go, oh, I'm just unconvinced. Okay, so tell me why God does not exist.
The reasons to believe in the God that's been proposed seem very shaky.
Okay, that's a non sequitur. That's a non.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It's a non sequitur. Most of our reasoning in life is non sequitur.
And not only is it a non sequitur, number two, that the statement, even if we set aside that it's a non sequitur, when you're going to have to defend that the rationale for God's existence is shaky.
Sure. Yeah. And I mean, I feel like that's a lot easier to do than trying to convince you that.
So if I say to you, the world as it presents itself to us, right? Now remember, it's not just shaky. You're either going to accept the rationale for God or you will refuse to accept it, which is a denial and a counterclaim. Okay? So when you say shaky, that forebodes of you going, oh, I'm not convinced by it. Now, Christians from time immemorial have been using the rationale from design. Okay? Now, that rationale biblically goes as follows, that the world as it presents itself to us, from the smallest scale to the largest scale, exemplifies ultimate design and intentionality by the purpose and the mind of God. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, your only alternative is to categorically reject that and conclude that the world is emblematic of something else rather than God. Okay? So the reason why the world is emblematic of God is because the world is emblematic of that which actualizes the world, but the world could only be indicative of and emblematic of that which actualizes it, if and only if that which actualizes the world had the character and attribute set of God in order to facilitate that the world from a small to a grand scale is indicative of what actualizes it. If you do not accept that, okay, then the world will not be said to be emblematic of anything. And therefore, if the world is not emblematic of anything foundational or ultimate, then you have no world to speak of. Okay? So tell me how my rationale for God is shaky, faulty, or inaccurate. In fact, you can't just say it's shaky. Okay? You have to say that it's false.
Yeah, see, okay, so I'm guessing you're a Bible-believing Christian, yes?
Yes. So how is my rationale for...
I'm answering your question. Yeah, I'm answering your question.
I'm going to give the question for clarification. Stop. Stop. Okay, do you want to get kicked off again? Now, how is my rationale for God that I have given you, how is it false?
I actually mostly agree with it. I would need to hear it again because I'm not sure I tracked with the entirety of it. That was a long explanation.
The world as it presents itself to us is emblematic of what actualizes it.
What do you mean by emblematic?
It means it's indicative or revelatory of what actualizes it.
Yes, agreed, yes.
Okay. But that which actualizes it could only facilitate that the world is indicative of itself if and only if it had the attribute set of a perfect God.
Sure, I think I'm tracking with that, and I think I even mostly agree with this. But so you haven't used any like very Christian sounding words yet when talking about what this God is.
I just quoted to you Romans 1. Ever since the beginning of the creation of the world.
Yeah, not verbatim.
No, not verbatim. I
just paraphrasing. Philosophical terms. You didn't really quote it. Yeah.
No, I am quoting it. I'm just representing it in philosophical terms.
No, quote is verbatim. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So ever since the beginning of the creation of the world, God's eternal powers, His divine nature, have been clearly seen in everything that has been made. In other words, the world indicates and is emblematic of God's divine nature.
Right. Yeah. According to Romans, it's 1, right? Yeah. Yes. Right. According to Romans 1, there are things about the universe which seem like evident pointers to God, right?
No. You are misrepresenting Romans.
No.
That's what. Aww. Hey, listen. You want to be a jackrabbit? Then I'll kick you out of here.
If you want to suck at conversation, then go.
Goodbye, bye, little boy.
Goodbye.
Yeah, so I've been an atheist for 10 years. I was originally Catholic.
Hey, Smoother, welcome to my block list.
Yeah, the reason I converted is because the Catholic religion is frowned upon. They frown upon masturbation.
So here we have a clown who comes up here. He denies the existence of God, and then within minutes he goes, "Oh yeah, I accept that the world reveals God." Where do they grow these people?
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, Truth Seeker, I've attempted to interact with Chad Elliott on a number of occasions. Every single time he's profane, he's obscene, and he doesn't want to have a dialogue. So he's lying to you, right? And he's also a deist. Deism is indefensible and it's incoherent. So, welcome, Slade. What would you like to say?
I just have to say that I find it interesting. They want to debate you all the time, and then it always diverts to like socialization, class, and etiquette. Like they try to tell you how to socialize instead of stay on topic. Keep doing what you're doing. These guys are fucking idiots.
Yeah, they're village idiots. I'm not getting any intelligent opposition on TikTok.
I mean, you just get so much hate that I had to come up and show support.
Nor are any of the talking head atheists and unbelievers and skeptics demonstrating mental and intellectual acuity. None of them.
Beyond their processing power.
Yeah. Yeah. Show me an intelligent atheist. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't be intelligent in their personal lives. But when it comes to metaphysics, they're as dumb as a bag of rocks. Okay?
I don't even know how they deny it. I mean, there's just so much proof in the uniformity of creation.
It's called the sin nature. Okay? It is their sinful inclination that they desperately want to be autonomous and not to be creaturely and under God's authority, nor do they want to acknowledge God as God. So because they are defiant with that respect, they instantly become deluded about the nature of the world. Okay? This is what the Bible teaches. If we reject God's revelation, then we will believe any number of figments of their imagination. Right? And it's a temporal judgment from God. God could have made it so that those who were defiant of him could not gaslight themselves, but he didn't do that. Okay? That's why it says their foolish hearts were darkened. Professing to be wise, they became fools.
Yeah. It's just mind-blowing. I mean, it's like these idiots anime.
Actualization is a very good term to use philosophically and metaphysically because it encompasses the fundamental reason why anything exists. Whether something is a necessary being like God, or that something is a contingent being like apples or rocks. Okay?
Yeah, like the simple difference between a mob and an object in programming. You have like programmer logic. I totally get it.
Yeah. So I use the word actualization.
Hey, get your pedophile ass off this app.
Bro, I will stomp you out.
Okay, obviously, mommy and daddy failed to civilize you.
The fact that he even lets you talk to him is absurd.
Yeah, he's gone. Okay. See, this is all we've got. We don't have any. So I want the listening audience to understand this clear. Ever since I'm beginning to stream on TikTok, I have virtually, not entirely, but virtually gotten no intelligent opposition or representation. We have had a couple of people that have done their best to try to maturely debate and respond to their credit. And when they do, I point that out. But 98 to 90% of the people that show up here, okay, when it comes to metaphysics and philosophy and theology, they're village idiots. Even though they may have a bachelor's, a master's, or a PhD. No, Beck, that's simply false. I do not kick people before they
Hello, I am Robo Nigga. My name is Robo Nigga. I am Robo Nigga. My name is Robo Nigga. I am Robo Nigga.
And like,
my name is Robo Nigga.
It's crazy to me.
My
In real life, like if they ran up on somebody roaring like that, like they'd get beat up.
Yeah, hey Beck, come on up. Now, Beck, I consider what you said is an outright lie.
Hello.
I do not kick people before they talk. So in other words, they don't say anything and I kick them?
Well, if they start to try to talk in a certain way, or they try to clarify a point that they have.
You're lying, sir. Listen, I wasn't born yesterday. Stop your damnable lying.
So
why kick people because of their bad behavior?
So could I?
just want to be a little funny.
You know what? You know what? I am going to block your account. I asked you a reasonable question. I'm going to block your account if you start dodging. See what you're doing right now. I'm confronting you about your accusation. I asked you a specific question, and immediately you're deceptively dodging.
So
now,
let me.
Do I kick people because
he's trying to form you because you're malleable? He's trying to help you in real life because Dawkins would tell you I would bully you.
Slate, please don't. Fact, do I routinely kick people because they behave badly?
I haven't watched this live very much, but when I have.
Okay, get the hell out of here. You're gone. Yeah, shut your face.
Yeah, no surprise.
You filthy liar. Okay? Notice again, he makes this grandiose indictment. Oh, well, I really haven't watched this stream or live very much. But he's indicting me for kicking people before they have an opportunity to express themselves. But he hasn't watched very many of the lives.
But Dad.
You see how I expose that lying?
At first I was a skeptic. I believe you know.
No, Beck, you're not coming up here. You're a lying sack of crap because you want to sit there and say, you kick people before they can even talk. But then you go, oh, well, I hardly ever listen to these lives. What a lying sack of garbage you are.
And I've been kicked before because I was unruly.
Look, as long as you conduct yourself maturely and you don't engage in blatant or passive-aggressive, persistent deception and evasion, my interlocutors can disagree with me as the day is long. People do not get kicked for disagreeing. People get kicked primarily for two reasons: bad conduct, unruly conduct, and being deceptive and evasive and lying about stuff.
So basically, if you're a shitty liar or you want to throw a tantrum, you're kicked. They don't even respect us enough to keep up the lie. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is all we've got. We get no intelligent opposition because those people who are intelligent realize they're in deep doo-doo, that they can't defend their position. That's why people resort to bad behavior, lying and deception and evasion. How many times have you heard me bring people up here and they will deny God's existence, and then when I ask them to give a rationale for God's non-existence and they say something stupid. I'm unconvinced. They go from denying God to, I'm unconvinced.
To me, it's like they're mindless drones and they start spewing out some other shit another man said to me. They're like broken robots. You're really doing the good work here. Oh my God.
Yeah, you're getting muted, Beck. Be thankful I didn't block your account. Okay, so here we have beard strokes. See, that's a lie. Come on up, Beard. If you don't come up and defend your statement, I'm gonna block your account. Come on up.
We're gonna start handing out job applications. These guys are fucking pathetic.
Yeah, I mean that's an outright lie. I don't kick people because they claim to be materials. Okay, do you want to apologize for your outright lie?
I was part of the live before, and I think as soon
Do you want to apologize for your outright lie?
What was I lying about?
That I kicked you simply and only because you claim to be a materialist. That's an outright lie.
I mean, that's what happened. I'm sorry.
No, you're lying because I don't kick people. I don't kick people because they're materialists. Do you have any materialists come up on my stage?
I'm not sure.
Stop lying. No, sir. No, people like you behave badly. That's why you get kicked.
Can I say that?
Yeah, you can say something. Listen carefully. stop your effing lying that I kicked you merely because. Are you telling me? You ready for this? You want the audience and Slade here on the stage and me to believe that you just said, Darth, I'm a materialist. And I'm like, oh, okay, you're a materialist? Get the hell off the stage, and I kicked you. Is that what happened?
No, but I can tell you.
Good. Then, sir, then you just admitted you lied.
I don't think I lied. Can I tell you what happened?
Okay, yeah. Are you intoxicated right now?
No.
Okay, you just wrote in the text that I kicked you simply for identifying as a materialist. That's what you wrote in the text.
May I amend my statement?
So no, there's no amending your statement. Was your statement true?
I mean, if you nitpick it enough, I guess not.
Okay, you know what? Get the hell out of here, you lying sack of crap.
You have no accountability.
You see how I exposed another liar?
These guys suck. I'm actually glad I'm hanging around.
Did you notice he goes, can I amend the statement? Why would you want to amend it if it's the truth?
I don't even know how you have the patience to deal with this. I see why you kicked them.
If you come up here and you tell me you're a materialist and you present yourself maturely and intelligently, and you can tell me I'm wrong. I want that kind of opposition. I want to have a really good run for the money debate and discussion on materialism. Yeah, but for this guy to go, you just kicked me simply because I was a materialist. And then he comes up here and he got busted. At least he had the balls to come up here. We got to give him kudos for that, right? And that's why I didn't block his account, because he came up here, right, like a man, and he tried to defend it, but then he just admitted it. He goes, "Oh, can I amend the statement?" No, because your statement was a lie.
For real. What does he think this is Judge Judy? What a dickhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I respect what you do. Making men of these liars.
You know how many times they lie and misrepresent the grounds upon which I kick people? They're going to you kick. Wait a minute. Here's one. You ready for this one? You kick everyone because you don't like what they're saying. I mean, 14-year-olds aren't supposed to be on TikTok.
And it seems that they have a thing out for you in particular. It's like, if they're not 14, they have the mind of one.
No, what happens is they either behave badly or they're being persistently deceptive and evasive, and that's when they get kicked. And then they need to get some group therapy, okay? They need to get some psychotherapy to get over the trauma of being kicked off the stage. Do you know how many times I've been kicked off of stages?
It's like they're coming up there like they want you to be their daddy. I see where you're coming from now. I didn't even.
Darth Dawkins kicks everybody off the stage. Really?
They act like you banned them from the entirety of TikTok.
There are a small number of people that are unbelievers that come on here and they are respectful. A small number that are thoughtful and mature, and we talk at length, and then we agree to debate and butt heads again. Okay? And they don't get muted. They don't get kicked because they're not acting like asshats.
For real.
I love it. You kicked me because I said I was a materialist.
And then this guy, Angel, says, I asked you for your forgiveness. I was drunk today. You didn't even spell drunk right. So we got to do some English lessons. And then I made add too much stupidity.
Listen, don't be a spelling schnazi, because it could be speech to text. Okay.
He must have been drunk insulting you. He's trying to mock you, saying, I was drunk today. I made you added too much stupidity. So you had like a 10-year-old level joke trying to diss you. Oh my God.
So once again, a lot of these people, they disparage me, they criticize me, some of the atheist streamers, but they don't have the balls to challenge me in a manly way. Okay?
They write little comments like little girls, like this dude trying to sneak this you.
That's because
Where's my favorite Pokemon? Where's your Pokemon store? Where's your Pokemon store?
What? The squirrel is my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah, because you're holding with
A squirrel is my favorite.
Listen to that, man.
Squirrel is my favorite Pokemon.
Better than they understand their own metaphysics. And I know the right sort of questions to ask them that exposes the bankruptcy of their position. They don't want to be exposed. They just want to go after low-hanging fruit. That's what they do over on the deconstruction zone. They just pick on low-hanging fruit.
Maestro. Hey, Maestro, do you want to come up here and say it?
Hey, Maestro, you better apologize for that remark, or I'm going to block your account. Okay?
Necesito tu huevos. Come on, come up here and use your man voice and tell Darth that.
Yeah. Okay, if I don't get an apology, Maestro, or however you're saying your name, okay, you're blocked. See you later. Yeah, nice picture.
And then imagine when Darth blocks you, then I'm just extorting you. Like when Darth blocks you, you're done.
Do you know how many people I block? They form new accounts just so they can come and listen to me.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Can't really blame them. You're pretty intelligent. I mean, you don't normally see like people that are intelligent that's trying to like do something like I want to say like sheep herding or something or shepherding, whereas like usually intelligence is used for like materialistic things. So
well, it's also practice. I've been dealing with unbelievers for 14 years on a daily basis. I know all of their little tricks and slogans. Welcome, Ghost. Do you accept God as your creator?
I do not.
Okay. Do you deny the existence of God?
I don't believe that there are gods.
That is an evasive answer. If you give me an evasive response one more time, I will kick you without further warning. Do you deny the existence of God?
I don't deny something I don't believe to be.
Goodbye, sunshine.
Oh,
obviously, mommy and daddy didn't teach you how to be
neutral Nelly.
human beings.
He's so special. Yeah. He's an anomaly.
Yeah, isn't that special? I gave him a warning. Okay.
For real.
Welcome, Holly. Do you accept God as your creator?
Hello. No.
Do you deny the existence of God, Holly?
I feel like I can't really deny what I don't know for sure. But
Holly, I'm going to
yes.
kick you. I'm going to treat you just like all the men. If you give me a deceptive answer, I'm going to kick you. We'll try one more time, Holly.
So
Goodbye, Holly. Goodbye, Holly. Goodbye. Hit the road. Here we go. Here we got another one. You come up here and you ask the simplest of questions.
Jeez.
Do you deny God? And then when we just get back as a word salad.
And then none of them even say yes. Like they obviously believe it in their hearts, and they don't even say yes. Unbelievable.
Do you know why they lie? Do you know why they're trying to verbalize a way out?
Because they fear God. Even if they're atheists, they still believe in God in the heart.
The moment they publicly say, yes, I deny God, they realize they're going to have to be responsible. They're going to have to be responsible for defending that, and they know they can't do it. So they don't want to verbalize, I deny God. They want to use all sorts of vernacular and phraseology to implicitly deny God, but not explicitly deny God, because they know they cannot rationally deny God. So why do you think, do you think it's an accident that I asked the question, do you accept God as your creator? And then I say, do you deny God? Do you know that 95 times out of 100, every time when I ask them, do you deny God, I get back a word salad?
I could imagine.
Yeah.
Just like Holly says, we're not denied a possibility. Like, why are you talking in the weak form?
Again, you're not honestly addressing the question. Do you deny God? If you say to me, Darth, do you deny the moon is made out of green cheese? I'm not going to give you about a word salad saying, I have yet to be presented with any compelling evidence or reason to believe there's green cheese in the moon.
The strawberries taste like strawberries.
No, I'm going to say I deny the moon is made out of green cheese.
Yeah, they're just way off with that.
Yeah. She says she never lies. That's a lie.
For real. Respectfully, ma'am, you need to get a dictionary or you need to get some like gym time in. If you're going to be arguing with Darth and not even like trying to use an accent to sound of intellect. I hate when they use the British accents to try to sound more sophisticated.
Yeah, Slade, man, you got too much noise on your mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, actually, I'm going to back out because I'm cleaning. I'm going to listen to your show still.
Oh, okay. Thanks for joining.
Yes, sir.
So, once again, another stream, no intelligent opposition. What an indictment upon the unbelieving community on TikTok. What an embarrassment for these people. They run amok on TikTok with their atheist and skeptical shows, picking on little low-hanging fruit of people who really can't do a good job defending themselves. But they never show up here. Gee, I wonder why. Okay, so once again, what we have here is unbelievers who are in irrational denial of God. They cannot rationally deny God. So they just go, oh, I'm unconvinced, I lack belief, I don't believe, but they will not defend the falsity of God because they know they can't. So God's existence is clear. The world, individually and collectively, indicates ultimate design and intentionality. And if somebody said, no, it doesn't, then there's no world to speak of. Because when the world exemplifies ultimate design and intentionality, that means, therefore, that there's a single causal purpose that is instituting, securing, and actualizing all of the unity and diversity in the world, making it real. When one denies that the world exemplifies ultimate design and intentionality, there's no frame of reference to place facts in the world. There's nothing within your model that is identifiable and defensible that imposes whatever unity and diversity one believes is real in the world. The issue is not do you and I believe that there's unity and diversity in the world. The question is whether you're going to accept that God is the single causal first principle actualizing the unity in the world, from electrons to protons, or molecules, atoms, rocks, trees, rivers, dogs, cats, planets, moons, solar systems. These are all different levels of states of unity and diversity. If one rejects that God is the one who actualizes it and that he makes the world be revelatory of him or emblematic of him, then you have nothing in the system that actualizes the unity in the world. And you're adopting that there's unity and diversity in the world without anything identifiable that makes that real. But you see, they don't care about this because the name of the game is just to play a little game. Oh, there's no evidence for God. No, I'm not ignoring comments. It's just that I'm not paying strict attention to the comments. Okay, hey, Maestro, you're done. You're now blocked. Okay. Bye, Maestro. What do you want me to answer, Caesar? Ghost, come on up and explain that comment about how Matt Dillahunty owned me. Come on up. Yeah, if you don't come up and explain your comment, I'm going to block your account, Ghost.
Yeah, go ahead and block it.
Explain how Matt Dillahunty owned me.
He tore you apart, man.
Okay. And where did this happen?
In a discussion that you tried to have with him.
Are you lying? Are you
No.
lying?
Unless you're unless there's
okay. Did you see this on YouTube?
No. I'll listen to it.
Where?
On YouTube.
Okay. No such video exists because I've never spoken with Matt Dillahunty ever.
Well, you should. If you haven't,
Okay,
the person on there said he
caught. Hey, Ghost, listen.
Unless there's another one of you.
Listen to me, Ghost. I've never spoken ever with Matt Dillahunty.
Well, then there's another Darth Dawkins.
No, there's not another Darth Dawkins. Because I will tell you why. Because years ago, Matt Dillabloviator specifically stated that I will never get an opportunity to talk with him.
So you have talked to him.
So no, you're not understanding. He preemptively banned me from calling in.
I wonder why.
It's besides the point. The point is, you've just made yourself the fool. You were emphatic that you heard me interact. Okay, so the fact of the matter is this. There was nobody who called themselves Darth Dawkins who showed up on a YouTube stream with Matt Dillabloviator. You never heard such a thing. You're lying.
No, I'm not.
No, there isn't.
Then somebody claimed to be you.
Let me explain something to you. If such a video existed, with the number of people that know me, both friend and foe alike, yeah, I don't want to have to boot you. So either you're going to admit right now that you were lying, because if there was such a video, it would have been reported to me. Okay?
Well,
I had people
somebody played the part of
carefully. Listen carefully. I have very trivial mentions of me on some of these live streams, and people report back to me about it. Okay? If somebody used the username and was pretending to be me, and actually getting live online with Matt Dillahunty, I would have had hundreds of people reporting to me of the event. Why is it that nobody has ever informed me about this?
Well, then
how long ago did you hear this alleged impersonator talk to Matt Dillahunty?
Years.
Okay, how many?
I don't know. I listen to everything.
Okay. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna block your account right now because you're a damnable liar. Goodbye.
Fuck chicken.
No, I'm not chicken. I'm just disciplining you for being a liar.
That you could be
not at all.
proven
Not
wrong.
at all. You're a troll. You're a troll. Bye. Okay, good. He's now blocked. Do you see what pathological liars these people are? You see what a pathological liar is? He says, "Oh, I heard you talk with Matt Dillahunty," and the guy went by the username. That never happened, ever. Why is it that I have dozens of people reporting to me, even the slightest mentions of me on other YouTube videos, yet I have not had one person report back to me that somebody going by the name of Darth Dawkins impersonating me was actually talking with Matt Dillahunty, when in fact Matt Dillahunty has said many years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, that he would never, if not longer, that he would never talk with me. You see what liars these people are? Absolute liars. Okay, we're looking for some intelligent opposition. Okay. Clock is ticking away. We're one heartbeat closer to eternity, Judgment Day. And we have these fools playing these little games. Oh, there's no evidence for God. How do you sleep at night knowing that you can't support such a statement. No, they're afraid. Only the trolls and the village idiots come up on stage. You're not going to get any intelligent opposition because they're afraid. What's your question, Cesar? I'll await your question. I'm paying attention to the text. What's your question, Cesar? I'm waiting, Cesar. The funny thing is the skeptics, atheists, and unbelievers think that the refusal to accept the rationale for God constitutes a rebuttal. It's actually hysterical that they think it's a rebuttal when it's not. The soul's existence isn't clear. Well, that's simply, you're full of crap, because experts in the field of human consciousness are utterly baffled by the gap between the consciousness capabilities of human versus the other animal kingdom, including the great apes. This was even an issue with Alfred Russel Wallace and Charles Darwin. Okay? So human consciousness is a very powerful testimony to the immaterial aspect of human beings' existence. Okay? And we could say is emblematic of some type of immaterial or spirit existence. Now, if you say that the human consciousness is not indicative or emblematic of an immaterial aspect to ourselves, then what you've pretty much done is you've now relegated human beings to biological robots. Therefore, what you asserting that there's no evidence for the soul, you could not have thought otherwise. And if I conclude that something is indicative of the soul, then I couldn't have thought otherwise. And therefore, there's no reasoning no reasoning going on. So you don't understand what you're talking about. Okay? In fact, the baffling mystery, the human consciousness cannot be even rudimentarily explained by an evolutionary descent. It's laughable. Welcome, Benji. Do you accept God as your creator?
I'm a deist, so I guess yes.
Okay, well, the problem with deism is there's no God for you to put on the table. A deist God doesn't engage in revelation, so there's no God to speak of.
Doesn't engage in revelation, that's true, but it still seems like that God would exist.
All I have to do is ask you a simple question. Can God be known if he purposes not to be known?
No, but can God
okay, there's no. Stop.
I don't get
go at this slow, okay? So you and I are in agreement that if God does not purpose to be known, he cannot be known, right? Are we on the same page?
Yes, I think it's a false choice. Sure.
No,
yes.
it's not. It's not. Wait, what do you mean it's a false choice?
Can I respond to that question?
No, wait. Are you in? Hold on a second. Have you been drinking tonight?
No.
There's no false choice there. It's a question. Can God be known if God decides to conceal himself?
No.
It's a question. It's not a false choice.
There's a binary there that I don't ascribe to, but
Sir, if God decides to conceal himself, can he be known?
no.
Okay, so we're on the same page. Now, if you then invoke that God exists in the absence of God acting in a way that discloses of existence, then you're not going to have rational grounds to say that he exists.
I believe that God has created a sense of divine mystery about his own existence.
No, where did you get that information from?
I guess.
Did God reveal that to you?
No, obviously not.
Then, okay, so can anything be known about God if God decides to conceal himself?
Only as much as he wants to be known.
No, you're not focusing on the question. Can anything be known about God if God purposes to conceal himself? It's not a trick question.
It's a loaded question.
No, it's not a loaded. You know what? Hey, dude, stop with the bullshit. It's not a loaded question. Okay, I'm going to ask you right now. Okay, and if you dodge, I'm going to kick you. I want you to tell me right now, what is a loaded question?
A question that leads to additional conclusions beyond what's being asked.
No, wrong. You just failed miserably. That's not what a loaded question is. A loaded question is a question that has either an explicit or an implicit premise that is otherwise objectionable to the questionee. So there's no premise that is objectionable. So it can't be a loaded question. People like you, listen carefully, people like you, when you're uncomfortable of the ramifications and implications of questions, and you are reluctant to answer because you realize it exposes the bankruptcy of your position, so you go, that's a loaded question. It's not a loaded question. There's no implicit premise that's objectionable. What is objectionable within the statement? Can anything be known about God if God decides to conceal himself? What's the objectionable premise there?
It's the anything aspect of that question, which
sir,
I am answering it.
No, you're not. What's the objectionable premise?
The objectionable premise is that God can't conceal parts of his existence without concealing his entire existence.
Dude, you should not. You're embarrassing yourself by continuing to talk. Because what you're doing is you're going, the objectionable premise is, and then you're changing the parameters of what I said. Do you realize you changed the parameters of what I said?
No.
Yeah, you did.
How?
Can anything be known about God if God decides to completely conceal himself?
Oh, you changed the parameters of your question.
All right, you know what? Get the hell out of here.
Thanks,
you lying sack of crap. You see, this is what I have to deal with. These little filthy, dirty little liars. Okay? They just lie. Okay? Well, that's a loaded question. It's not a loaded question. Are there not any truthful, honest unbelievers who will come up on the stage? Why is it that I get one asshat after another? Why is it that I get one village idiot and troll after another? Are there not any intelligent unbelievers out there? You know, I would personally rather not have to invoke this stringent criticism. But these, village idiots keep on coming up here and lying. Joel, come up and back up your statement. Come on up. Come on up, Joel. Yeah, if you don't come up, Joel, you're going to get muted. You need to explain to me how I did exactly what I was accused of. It was simply a recapitulation, okay? Is there any substantive difference between me saying, can God be known if God conceals himself versus completely conceals himself? Is there any substantive difference, Joel? No, that's not me. That's Richard Dawkins. No, you're not coming up again, Benji. You get kicked off the stage, you're not welcome. If you want to come up tomorrow, you can come up. Oh, Richard Dawkins is a clown. What is the most substantial critiques of precept? There aren't any. The only thing that might imaginably come close would be what is called the Stroudian objection. But the Stroudian objection was not actually dealing with a biblical transcendental argument for God. It was just dealing about transcendental arguments in general. Yeah, that's Richard Dawkins. But you know what? He's very soon going to become a theist. Did you guys know that? He's not far away from becoming a theist, just a matter of time. So once again, my fellow believers, what an indictment. No intelligent opposition. Grant, you're just invoking what is called the Cartesian-Jamin objection. Okay? If you do not acknowledge that God is and that he's perfect and that he has clearly revealed himself in creation and he has also clearly revealed himself through the prophets ultimately in Jesus Christ and propositionally codified within the contents of the New Testament, and having that being a true worldview, then you will have no worldview at which to reason from. You won't be able to talk about anything. Unless we're in the hands of a perfect God within the midst of his plan of creation and redemption, if you don't accept that, then you have no basis to even say 1 + 1 = 2. It is Richard Dawkins, yes. My screen name used to be Duncan Dawkins, but one very disturbed atheist said that I was evil and that I was Darth Dawkins. So I said, okay, I'll use that. No, everything in the world exemplifies design, meaning that it's the product of a single causal first principle that's characteristically a mind, right? Because when it is, therefore, then we have that single causal first principle, namely the mind of God, actualizing the unity and diversity in the world at all different scales according to his plan. If you reject that, then you're operating from the principle that there's something else actualizing the unity and diversity. But how would that something else, what would its attributes and properties be that it facilitates that the world will be emblematic of what is something else that's not God? What would that be? So what you would have is things in the world will just be in a void, and there will be no context, no meaning, no interpretation. So the non-acceptance that the world is emblematic of ultimate design and intentionality by the perfect self-revealing God will lead one into the abyss of metaphysical absurdity. In other words, you won't even be able to say the cat is on the mat.